All right, what's up, everybody? Terminator Juice. Yes, I'm doing a Juice Opinions. It's been a minute, but had some shit stirring on Twitter, and I felt compelled. It's gonna be. I'll go over the tweet that started this, kind of explain a little of that, but actually, this branches off into something. From one of the replies, this branches off into something completely different. So, yeah, before I get everybody in here. And for anybody watching this on the replay, I just got to say, to Juice's Loose podcast ago at the end, my final thoughts. I was talking about the sci-fi show Deadly Class. Episode 2 just aired last night. And I just got to say, you guys got to check that show out. It is phenomenal. Especially everyone, I'm assuming, has been through high school or in high school. Mix that in with a school for assassins, and it's a dark kind of comedy, kind of drama, and it's phenomenal. So I'm gonna hype this show up. I'm gonna every week on the Juices Loose. I'm gonna just, you guys, if you have the access to the Sci-Fi Channel, I don't know if Hulu has it or through Amazon Video, if you got to pay for it, it's a great show. So anyway, I wanted to say that. So I'll get into my tweet, and I got my tablet here because I got my second screen turned off, so my face ain't super lit up, even though it is right now. I just need to throw this out there. Kind of relates. I've always been kind of a hipster, so god damn it, this fucking tablet. I never been one to need something that I like to be popular. And I almost have the opposite effect when something's super popular. I usually have a tendency to steer clear of it sometimes. So, oh my god, this fucking touchscreen on this tablet is so trash. About to smash this thing. I bought a tablet. I didn't really fully read the specs. I bought it because it had a decent, really nice screen, and I learned that that's not all that's important. I wish I had gotten one with a better processor. And all right, here we go. So I'm going to read the tweet, and then I'm just going to explain what I meant, where I was coming from, and then I'm going to go into a whole nother area based on a reply. So this was because I'm seeing just a ton of, what's up, Lake and Link? I'm just seeing a lot of people, and not all, but a lot of those people were ones who said the NX needed to be this, and this, needed to be a PS4 level power, have all the features of Xbox and PlayStation, have x86 architecture, standard controller, and needs to be powerful and easy to develop for. Like, all the people that said that, seems like they're the ones most hyping the Switch right now based on its success. But anyway, I'm just like, yeah, sales great. I'm happy for Nintendo. You know, Switch is selling. It's not a failure. It means it's not going to be dead in a year. But the way, in the amount of tweets and the way people are phrasing it, it's just so, I call it like a circle jerk. It's everybody's giving each other blowjobs. Like, everyone's just so hype or just excited and talking up sales and the record-breaking sales of the Switch in December, like it's just all that matters, or all it's just so exciting. And I'm just like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me if the Switch sold 500,000 units in 2018 or 10 million units in 2018. It doesn't matter, as long as Nintendo's still putting out games. I know the company's not going under. So from that point of view, this is my exact tweet. Sorry, but I'm not excited, nor do I really care that the Switch sales were record-breaking in December. I'd be way happier if the 2018 lineup had been filled with quality new games. Sales don't mean shit to me and never did. Now, what I meant by that is, and somebody got it, I love the Dreamcast. I probably near the most games I ever bought for one system was the Dreamcast. I had a library of almost 30 games, you know, physical. There wasn't digital back then. And love that system. Played the shit out of it for 2 years, 2+ years. And thing ended up at 9 million sold. And I would guess over 2 to 3 million of that was when the thing hit 99 bucks, you know, well after it was already dead. And I didn't care. I was enjoying it, waiting for the GameCube to come out and playing a bunch of great games, the Soul Calibur and Resident Evil Code Veronicas and the MDK2s and, you know, all the games the Dreamcast had, Crazy Taxi. And, you know, I actually, if you know me long enough, you know, I regretfully traded in most of my games to help a buddy out get a GameCube because I wanted somebody else I knew to have a GameCube. But anyway, love that system. Game Boy Advance. I think it sold like 80, 90 million. Wasn't a big fan of the Game Boy Advance. It didn't have a ton of games that were new. It had a lot of, I mean, it had, you know, the portable Zelda games, you know, that are made by Capcom, and it didn't have a new exclusive game, Mario game, but it had a Mario Kart game, and it, you know, had some decent games, but doesn't go down as, you know, in my opinion, it's my least favorite of the handhelds. I did like the little SP version, and there was some good games, but I felt it was lackluster. You know, the Wii sold what, over 100 million. I didn't care. There was great games to play. There's Twilight Princess. There was Super Mario Galaxies. There was Metroid Prime 3s. I didn't care how well the thing sold. It actually affected me being able to get one, and that was a negative. But it didn't matter to me that the Wii sold 100 million units. I just don't care. Nintendo put out good games. And that's all I cared about. Yeah, Visor Grunt, you were the one that knew exactly what I meant. I wasn't just talking about. I'm not mad about the Switch's sales. I'm happy that the Switch is selling well, but I don't really care, you know. It doesn't matter to me if the Switch is selling or not. And yeah, you know, I'll get into some of the counter arguments, but you know, a lot of people look back at the Wii now, and we had thousands of games. What do people say about it? It was all shovelware. It was all casual motion gimmicky, blah 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 blah. But it sold 100 million. You know why? So you know, that sold really well, but it's not looked back upon very fondly by a lot of gamers, unless, you know, someone like me, Red Knight especially. I think he's the biggest Wii supporter. The Wii's probably third favorite Nintendo. I forget where I ranked it. The Switch isn't ahead of it yet. So for me, and so that didn't matter. GameCube, everybody loves the GameCube. I mean, I say that in quotations, not everybody, but it's so fondly talked about now. Retro Death, you know, it's his favorite Nintendo system, and things sold 21 million units. It was missing a significant chunk of first party or quality first party games, you know, that had basically incomplete Wind Waker that was released, you know, because it needed to get out. Super Mario Sunshine wasn't really complete. They pushed it out, fill it in with blue coin stuff. You know, Eternal Darkness, everybody loves that game now, you know, thinking about it, but it was an okay game. But Metroid Prime, stellar. Resident Evil 4, stellar. But it was lacking for me in a lot of ways. But now it's looked upon so fondly, yet 21 million. So again, salesness never really paid. I paid attention to them, but it didn't matter. I didn't have an Xbox 360 because of the sales. I had an Xbox 360 because of the BioShocks and the Dead Spaces and Assassin's Creed 2 before, you know, that series turned to shit. I guess it's good again now, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't care if the Xbox 360 was popular. That's why I bought Call of Duty on there. What's up, Retro? Playing Yoshi's Woolly World. Excellent game. We're going to talk about some Wii U and Switch stuff a little bit later, but so basically all I'm saying is I just don't care about sales. I'm not mad at the sales of the Switch. Yeah, if the Wii U had sold better, you know, we'd probably still have Miiverse. I get that, but the Wii U has probably the most games I ever bought for a single system was the Wii U. and digital and physical was I just had a ton of games. Maybe the Switch will come close to that. I don't know, but right now I have a stack of the games I bought in the first 2 years versus my Switch in 2 years. It's not even close. So, yeah. And then the second part of that was I'd been happier with more quality new games than, news of record breaking sales. I don't know why there's any argument about that other than if you're satisfied with 2018's lineup. I know a lot of people want to bring up the third party, the multi-plats, and all the old games that came out on Switch in 2018, but that's not how I view a console. I don't buy a console for third-party games or old games. I buy a new console to play new games. And if it's a third-party game of any significance that I'm interested in, like Resident Evil 2, I'm gonna get it on my PS4 or my PC. Sorry, Xbox One S. Most third-party games, unless it's a multiplayer game, because I have Xbox Live, I'm getting on the PS4. Not gonna get them on the Switch. Not gonna get them on Xbox One. So that I don't know how you can argue. Are you really happier? You'd rather really have record sales of a console versus having more new quality games? I mean, obviously the two would go together. The Switch was going to sell well. If it had more new games, it'd probably sell even better. But I'm just saying, if you had to pick, would you rather have Nintendo have done another 2017 games lineup, or would you rather had it outsold 2017? So yeah, Advisor Grunt. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. If it wasn't selling, people would be talking about the games that come out in 2018 being lackluster, but the system's selling. The first 3028 game, I'm guessing 2018. I bought one physical game in 2018 for my Switch. It's right here. Purchased like four or five digital, but anyway. So yeah, my tweet, I don't know what there's to argue about. But some of the counterpoints are, good sales mean more games. I guess that's true, but the first year's sales were good enough to justify more games. So I don't know how many more games we're going to get now that it was an even bigger success. Get more third-party ports. We'll get more Mortal Kombats and Dragon Ball Fighters, type games, and sure we'll get the what's that trilogy, the Spyro trilogy and stuff in 2019. But sales aren't a bad thing. It's a good thing. Well, there is a negative side to sales, and that's arrogance, and that's what games were released in 2018 to justify these sales. And Nintendo's looking at 4 Wii U ports, a couple, what do we say, single A, not even double A, first party games and Kirby and Mario Tennis and Super Mario Party. Oh, we don't have to do as much. I mean, they probably won't, but I'm saying you could make the argument that these sales with what they released is almost sending the wrong message. But I don't think that I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think 2019 is still pretty stacked, and 2020 I'd expect to be, depending on what comes out this year. There's some heavy hitters still could come out in 2020. So, but yeah, one of the responses that just absolutely had me scratching my head, and I should find the exact quote, but I'm just going to paraphrase it, was talking about, Nintendo, they're a single studio, so you can't expect, I mean, it's unrealistic or whatever to expect more games than what they put out. And I'm like, well, they put out 4 games, and if you count Labo, which the game part of it is the lamest part, that's 5. One of those was Pokemon, which Nintendo doesn't even develop. That's all you think they can put out? That is wrong on so many levels. If I wasn't at work, I would have replied to him, but I didn't. I got an argument that's just, I got this list sitting here that's just gonna destroy that comment so hard. It's not even funny. So, and then I said, well, people thought I was talking about the Wii U lifetime versus the Switch 2 years. Talking 2 years of Wii U versus 2 years of Switch. It's fucking eye-opening because people don't like facts. And I know, single studio. I have compiled a list of the Wii U's first we'll say 25 months. We'll do the same for the Switch. We'll include Yoshi. Crafted World comes out end of March. So I'm first going to discuss, the first and second party games and third party exclusives. So let's just get into it. So we got Nintendo Land and New Super Mario Brothers U, obviously. And then ZombiU, which was exclusive. It doesn't matter that 5 years later, they made it multi-plat. At the time, it was an exclusive. Then we got Wonderful 101, Pikmin 3, Sonic Lost World, Lego City Undercover come out. That might have been, correct me if I'm wrong. That was my 2013 or 2014, but still. Super Mario 3D World. And what's this one? Oh, yeah, it's Lego City. I'm not going to count Wind Waker HD. I gave it maybe a half point. Then we got Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 8, Hyrule Warriors, Bayonetta 2, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Smash 4, Sonic Boom. Yeah, barely can count that, but it's a game. In Japan, got Fatal Frame 5, so we'll give that a half point. And this is just, like I said, exclusives, first and second party. And they're not all stellar, but a couple of them: 3D World, Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart 8, Bayonetta 2, Smash 4. They're all pretty stellar. So that's 15, 16 depending on. And then the Switch, which I didn't write this list down, so I might miss one, but so we started with Breath of the Wild. And I tried to stick to like bigger games, but I'm gonna count Super Bomberman R, even though I think that's a pretty weak game. But so then we had Breath of the Wild, Bomberman, and then we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Did we count it? I didn't count Wind Waker. I think it's a decent port, but for the sake of argument, we'll count it this time. I'm only gonna count the one port. So then we got ARMS, and then Splatoon 2, I believe. Yes. Shit, I lost track. Mario plus Rabbids, and then say Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and that was it. And then it was Kirby, Star Allies, Mario Tennis, Octopath Traveler, Super Mario Party, Smash 4, and then it's going to finish up with Yoshi in the Crafted World. So I might have forgot one, but it's about 15 and 15. Obviously, Breath of the Wild destroys all of them. But and then some heavy hitters with Mario Odyssey and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Splatoon 2 is big for people. So it wasn't a landslide. It's close. Yeah, some of those Wii U ones are a little weaker, but some of the Switch ones, like I put Super Mario or Super Bomberman R for me. That's in the Lego City or Sonic Lost World territory. So, yeah, there might be a few others. Like I said, it's close. The point is, it's not a landslide. So 2 years in, not a big difference. And then you look at just the third-party games, and a lot of people like to forget this, but and these are just the ones that I bought in the first year. We got Rayman Legends, which infamous for becoming a multiplayer. Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Ghost, Assassin's Creed 4 and 3, Batman Origins, and Armored Arkham City, whatever, and Arkham Origins. There was the third RPG series, Mass Effects. Got the sports titles, so I would say for games like Skyrim, Doom, and those types of games, we had the latest and greatest Call of Duty for two games, over the course of a year, the Assassin's Creeds, the Batmans. So in the first 2 years, it was pretty equal as far as like bigger stuff. The Switch has gotten a few day and dates now with Starlink and Mortal Kombat 11, but that'll be out after 2 years. So the future's way brighter for third parties. It's not a comparison, but I thought it was interesting, just the actual games that released in the first 2 years on Wii U and Switch. It's not a landslide. It's really even. So, and we all know what happened after the third party support dropped off, and then it was all first party and exclusives. And I think 2015 was a phenomenal year too, with Xenoblade Chronicles X and Mario Maker and Fatal Frame in the US. So, I thought 2015 actually had, and Splatoon, they had a pretty good year. Kirby's Rainbow Curse, I believe that was 2015. Woolly World. Let me look up Woolly World. I think Woolly World was 2015 as well, or late 20. Yeah, it had to been 2015 because it wasn't on my list. If it was, that'd be another notch. So 2015 was actually, I think, a pretty good year for the Wii U. Sorry for my blindingly bright face all of a sudden, but I'm just curious. At Woolly World, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, Splatoon, Super Mario Maker, Pokken Tournament. Forgot about that one. Ultra Smash came out in 2015. That's funny. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was 2015 in Japan. Devil's Third, nice. So yeah, I mean, wasn't amazing, but so even kind of right. And like I said, the guy was like, "Well, Nintendo's only a single studio," and other people are like, "Games take time." Nintendo, they can't put out that kind of content or that kind of production every year. 2017 was special. They can't do that every year. Well, we're talking Nintendo's IPs. They're not all first party. You got their second party type studios that they own part of or all of, but they own the IPs. Everybody likes to forget that the Switch is a portable and a home console. They don't forget that part. But they forget that Nintendo has always, since the Game Boy, had enough capacity, enough talent, enough studios, enough people working on first party IPs, exclusive games, that just looking at the console side of it is only half the story. So let's look at what came out in that 2-year span of the Wii U on the 3DS. And these aren't in any kind of order. So, Animal Crossing New Leaf, pretty big one. Ocarina of Time 3D was kind of a remake more than just a port, but I didn't really count that one. Got a version of Smash Brothers. Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, Pokemon X and Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Tomodachi Life, Mario and Luigi Dream Team, and another, I forget the other Mario and Luigi one, Shin Megami Tensei 4. Not sure if Nintendo owns that IP. I don't think they do. So I didn't really count that either, but I thought I'd mention it. Yoshi's New Island, Mario Golf World Tour. I think that was pretty much it for the bigger ones. A lot of these were Nintendo IPs, second party developers or third party exclusive. There was a Fire Emblem game right before the Wii U came out. It was it 2013? I had to look up when Fire Emblem Awakening came out. I think that was right before The Wii U came out, and then Fates came out just after. In the US, it came out just after the 2 years of the Wii U. So you look at the Switch and you look at the 4 games Nintendo put out, other than the 4 ports, and to the argument that they don't have the capacity to make all these games. If you look at the Wii U and 3DS in that 2-year span, and then you look at the Switch's 2018, especially if you combine 2017 and 2018. Like I showed, the Switch and Wii U are pretty similar, but you add the 3DS onto that, all these teams that aren't making 3DS games anymore, and it's like, where's the defense of that? Like, all these studios, Nintendo's always had the capacity to have plenty of games for their home console and handheld every year. All those teams have joined, they're united on making Switch games. Now, I know 2019 is going to be a good year, but I don't think there's any defense or the argument of, Nintendo can't make all these games. They can't put out that kind of production. I think I just showed that in a 2-year span, they could have had and should have had a lot more out. And it just goes back to my theory that Breath of the Wild, where did they get these people from? Oh, they had Monolith working on something. They had this and this and this. Well, I think they had a lot of their teams, a lot of people from their teams, a lot of the main people from their teams making sure Breath of the Wild got done, making sure Smash had it. Don't forget, Juice, this time last year we were like, man, the first 6 months look a bit light. Wait till E3. Yeah, that's true. E3 was really lackluster, in my opinion. Basically, 2018 was Smash Brothers. From March until December, that's all they had. And people talk about the Wii U drought. So from, we'll say, Octopath Traveler, that's not even a Nintendo. I don't know if they funded it or they published it. From that until Smash, July, August, September, October, November, and into December, almost 4+ months. Super Mario Party, I am sorry, that does not count. That's like, I know it's a better Super Mario Party game, but to me, that's like saying, well, we had Ultra Smash. It wasn't a drop. To me, that's even being nice. If you really want to go, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then we'll say, oh, Kirby came out in March. Okay, so that was, 3 months. And then, oh, Mario Tennis came out in June. That was another 3 months. And then, unless you count, and Octopath was a month later. Yeah, there was some DLC for Splatoon and Mario plus Rabbids. But DLC is not a game. I will say Torna, Torna the Golden Country, wasn't even a full game. What is it, 10, 15 hour expansion? So, I mean, you can't deny that there should have been more. But facts are the facts. There wasn't. And Nintendo, for whatever reason, just put all their eggs in 2017. Well, for some reason, obvious reasons. They want to make sure the Switch was going to be a success. They probably should have held something from 2017 for 2018. They probably could have held a Fire Emblem Warriors, or because what did they release that? Like, what they released right before Odyssey, like the week before? Was that that might have been Fire Emblem Warriors? That was stupid. So, and then Smash Brothers was December 7th. When's the next big Nintendo game? Oh, March 29th. Basically 4 months. You could say, oh, we got new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, and I'll say, eat a dick. 4 months. Was there ever, in that Wii U 3DS 2 years, was there ever 4 months where Nintendo didn't have a major game? It wasn't a port? I mean, I know that a lot of these 3DS teams, it's their first time working on a console 3D with HD graphics and stuff, so I can cut them some slack. But they didn't announce any games. And then, of course, this is beside the point. for my personal taste, 2019 is Yoshi and Yoshi. That's the only game from Nintendo that I truly care about for 2019 that we know is 2019. That's been said to be 2019. Could be delayed, but I don't care about the Animal Crossings. Fire Emblem might be something I could pick up. Depends on what it looks like next, and if they don't do the 2 or 3 game thing. I don't care about a mainline Pokemon game. Daemon X Machina looks like a repetitive, kind of boring looking game. Yeah, the art style is cool. Doesn't look like anything I'd be into. What else? What else? Luigi's Mansion 3. I will say, if it's made by the same people that made Dark Moon, which is Next Level Games, my excitement will go up, and it'll be right there with Yoshi. Don't know that at this point, but I do realize there's major titles coming. You know, just because they're not for me, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Nintendo's got nothing. It's dry. But they're just, unfortunately for me, they're not ones that get me super excited. But Yoshi's Crafted World, I still have a little skepticism, but it's been, by the time I think the game's been done. So we'll say, not quite 4 years since Woolly World. If it's the same team, then that's plenty of time to make a quality game. So I'm excited. That's my most anticipated Switch game for 2019. My most anticipated game of 2019 is Doom Eternal. My number 2 most anticipated game is Ori and Will of the Wisps. And Yoshi might be third. So, I mean, it's just another year. And I don't understand it, because on Wii U, it felt like even when people were saying there's droughts, the games that came out just seemed to be more my style. I guess I'm a platforming fan, so obviously there's that. And then the fact that 4 Wii U ports in 2018 and people are acting like it's good, you're freeing them from the Wii U, but if you want to forget about the Wii U and talk about how trash it is, why are you hyping up these games coming to the Switch? They're the same game. They were great on the Wii U, and I don't know, for whatever reason gives you joy that the Wii U is losing exclusives, even though in my opinion it doesn't take away the fact it's still New Super Mario Brothers U is still a Wii U game. I don't care what they put on the end of it. I don't care what they do to it. It's still a Wii U game. And in the context of the Wii U's lifespan from 2012 to 2016, it was an exclusive game. And, so it's one of those things. Yeah, the Switch sales are good. I'm a little worried that Nintendo's going to get a little arrogant, and they're going to see that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is one of their highest selling games, if not the highest. I forget. I didn't see the numbers. That they're going to try to find that success again. I think New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is that mindset, because the 2 biggest selling games on the Wii that weren't Wii Sports or Wii Fit were New Super Mario Brothers Wii and Mario Kart Wii. Those are the 2 biggest selling games, so both over 30 million. So if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold so well, I think that's the only reason we got New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, is because, hey, a New Super Mario Brothers is a 30 million plus. It sold 5 million on Wii U. It could do 10 million, 15 million on Switch. I think that's the only reason we got it. So, all right, just reading a message. So yeah, I mean, I know people don't like talking about the Wii U. I know Wii U defend or fanboy, Wii U weirdo, whatever. But if you just look at it factually and look at the lineup, I didn't even count, I didn't count up all the third-party games, all the indie games on Wii U or Switch. But let me just turn this thing on real quick. So I had I don't have them all here. I had nearly 20 physical. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I had about 18 physical Switch games. and then digital, because I bought a lot of my first party Wii U games digital. So then I had 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26 like major games that, you know, were in stores physical, but I just happened to buy a lot of them digitally. And then that's 26 like I said, bigger titles. And then indie games, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 of those from various, you know, sizes. So we'll just Mighty Switch Force, Trine 1 and 2, Affordable Space Adventure, Freedom Planet, Shovel Knight, Runbow, unfortunately, Child of Light, those types of games. So nearly 40 games total. And that's more than 40, almost like 45, 50. So, you know, then I had some Wii games. I had the digital Wii Metroid Prime Trilogy and Xenoblade Chronicles. So, you know, huge library for me. One of the biggest library of games I've ever had on a single system. And it's the weakest, one of the least selling home consoles of all time. So, yeah, so that's about it. Again, I know a lot of people joined late, but started with a tweet about how I don't care about sales, and you know, the lots of replies and retweets and arguments happen there. And sorry, sales aren't gonna change my mind, and I'm not gonna get hyped for sales. I get hyped for games. And AKA Izzy, I'm hoping for a fresh IP this year, and of course Pokemon and Metroid. Fresh IP, I really think Nintendo has a game up their sleeve like Smash Brothers Ultimate that's going to get revealed in 2019 and released in 2019. That's going to be, you know, maybe it's not going to be Smash Ultimate level of size, but it could be 2D Metroid game. It could be the 2D Zelda team's new game after Link Between Worlds. You know, it could be something along those lines. Could be, I would say, a 2D Mario game, but I don't think so because of New Super Mario Brothers. Probably like a third party, like a Mario plus Rabbids type of game could get announced and released, or you know, there's a lot of possibilities with, you know, taking the 3DS studios into account. Oh, I forgot Animal Crossing, I think, when I was talking about 2019 for the Switch. But yeah, overall, you know, I'm not mad. Just pointing something out, and I would like to say, you know, I do this. This is my physical stack of physical Switch games that I have accumulated in 2 years. And these are my Wii U ones minus. This is the games that came out in the first 2 years. This is minus 3D World, Pikmin 3, Mario Kart 8, Smash Brothers, Tropical Freeze, Captain Toad. So I had about 5 or 6 more. You know, these are there's some third party games in here, obviously, but I mean, there's third party games in my Switch too. So I don't know. First 2 years on Wii U to me had more games that were appealing to me. It was a better start for 2 years. Now the first year of the Switch destroyed the first year of the Wii U, no question. With 3D World, or with Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, I mean, it's not even close. But 2018 was bad enough for me that, and I forgot Smash 4 also in the first 2 years. So, you know, decent amount more games on Wii U in that 2-year span. And you know, I had the Xbox 360, I had the PS3, I got my gaming PC, and yet the Wii U was it for me. And I don't know what it is. Just seems like a lot of the games on Switch just, you know, they're just not calling to me. So you know, I understand Octopath's pretty good game, you know, just didn't really interest me. And Kirby Star Allies, you know, just didn't interest me. So 2019, maybe I'm just a little sad and just kind of taking out my frustrations on 2018, and what's scheduled for 2019 really just aren't for me, aren't appealing to me, for my taste. I know everybody was kind of the same way in Wii U. If you didn't like platformers, or if you got sick of them, then, where I was in heaven, yeah, I can understand that. So, again, now that I have more viewers and I'm done with my talks of gaming, I just want to do it again because I don't know, this is not gaming related, but 2019, there's a new show on Sci-Fi. I'm not getting paid. I mean, no reason other than the first 2 episodes are amazing. It's called Deadly Class. I like all their videos on Sci-Fi's web YouTube channel, all the little behind the scenes stuff. It's an amazing show. So every chance I get, I'm gonna just tell you, check it out if you have Sci-Fi. It's high school in the 80s. The school is a school for assassins instead of, regular high school, but it's got all the fun and drama of a high school, and comedy of a high school show set in the 80s. It's so good. The 2nd episode aired last night. It's good. The Russo brothers are producers. They made sure the show was shot, has a film look to it. It's not your average TV show. They're the guys who did Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War, and then the Avengers. They have some pull, and for whatever reason, Sci-Fi got them to work on the show with them, and it's so good. It's just so good. Expanse, yeah, Jack Gates. The Expanse is one of the best sci-fi shows ever made. Now it's going to be on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, watch The Expanse. Seasons 1 through 3 are about to hit, and season 4 is coming out later this year. That was a Sci-Fi show. Now it's Amazon. So anyway, that's it for this Juice Opinions, and I'm gonna go play some Rocket League, I think, or maybe some Forza Horizon. So yeah, I'm gonna go do some gaming now that I've talked about it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.